and welcome back to the Scrapbook Podcast, Season 2. Make our movie. Same approach, different execution. Please enjoy the show. And welcome back to the Scrapbook Podcast. I'm your host, Jody Pratt, with my fellow host, Patrick Wigfall.
Yo.
And this is Space Race, Act 2 and 3 of Space Race. Our mid-20s adventure movie set on a space station, right? So if you don't know what's going on, please listen to Act 1. It'll catch you up on everything. But as you know, Act 2 and 3, we kind of go off of it a little bit, or just a little bit. But we have... Okay. Yeah. Okay. So...
had to relook at it.
Yeah, exactly. I had that because it's way neater than the first one.
It's so much neater.
Yeah. So we have we have China, Russia, Great Britain, and the U.S. All chasing asteroids and mining asteroids in outer space, and this all takes place on the space station in outer space. So the reason why they are chasing and mining these asteroids, it's a how would you explain it?
I'd explain it as like they're trying to just get as many of the,
the minerals,
minerals and essential things out of the galaxy they can get. And now that they have the technology to get there, it's a space race to get to all of the good shit.
Yeah, and sending back home to their
respective
countries.
And then their families get a residual. Like, so the more you get, the 80, 95%, 98% is going to be given to the government. But that 3% residual does go to your family.
Exactly.
So it's really about making big bucks.
And underlining, there's been rumors that the reason why they're doing this, they're saying the Earth has ran out of certain precious minerals and shit like that. But there's also talkings on the news and shit like that of an arms race. Mm-hmm. And it's whoever gets the most, they have... power over weaponry and shit like that. They can produce weapons and shit like that. And as you know, China, Russia, UK, US, all major powers in this world as well. You know what I mean?
All right.
So now let's break it down even more to make this shit an adventure. We were talking about somebody who's trying to find a better mineral or whatever.
It was a better fuel source, right? Or it broke down to being better than fossil fuels and
better whatever than their mining.
Exactly, and it was just more precious, but it wasn't on the radar like that.
Yeah,
and so I believe we're going with the U.S., right?
Huh?
Or clearly the U.S.
Yeah, obviously. So it's a U.S. Group that is going after that, and they're trying to keep it secretive. But you feel like they don't talk to each other when they're out on the spacecrafts. Because they're doing work in their own country's, sector as far as their own ship. But when they get back to the space station, they are still mingling to a certain extent. Yeah, to a certain extent.
Gambling, drinking, having fun, doing, space station shit.
And the protagonist would be the scientist who found the renewable energy. Mm-hmm. And what do you want to name him?
Let's call him Cliff.
All right, yeah.
Clifferton. No, I'm just joking. Cliff is good. All right, so you want me to throw it on there?
Yeah. That's our protagonist, is Cliff.
PT for protag.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now Cliff has found this renewable source just working as a scientist in the space station, right? And would you say that this news is extremely detrimental to their country's existence?
I would say yes. I would say if this got out, that the powerhouse that be in this group of countries would immediately just overtake the space station. The whole civil grounds that they work on as a space station, international space station, that would just go out the window, and the big dog on campus would start shooting people. and be like, I'm going to take over this space station now because now we have a source that can power Russia forever, power the UK forever or something, you know? And if I can get all that back to Earth, all I need is that one go. Yeah. If I take over this whole space station. So you really can't. It's vital information. So when he does find out, I feel like he should be at like a. Where is he? Isn't he in the office, or is he in like a space lookout where he's looking at things going past, like a spotter for these asteroids?
I would say he's one of the main. I would say he's one of the main testers.
Okay.
So he's in the lab.
Okay, so he's really in the lab, but he's found a chunk of something, and like it sparked, and he was like, "Yo, what was that?" And then he tested a little bit of it, and
yeah,
he was like, "Yo, this is a crazy source, and we've never seen it before."
And it also it can be reproduced on Earth. Yeah, you know what I mean. It could be reproduced as something, like recycled boxes or some shit like that. It's renewable. You can make this shit there, and say he wrote up a draft of the memo he sent and it's sent it to the United States, right? Mm-hmm. But knowing that there's an arms race on Earth, Russia
intercepts it.
He has a hacking program and it intercepts it and it gets out. You know,
so that's the peak of that's where everything comes together. Yeah. So you get the buildup of them finding it, hiding it for a half second, letting the U.S. Astronauts know or whatever, astroteers or whatever you call them, but you let them know, and then bam, when they're like, we have to tell the U.S. about this. If we can get this back to the U.S., we win the war. We win. There's no way they can keep up with this. We send it, intercept it, and then how does it unfold after that?
So Russia would intercept this message before he even sends it out. It's like
so he has like a paper copy of it.
Yeah, no, it's like on the screen, but they have a hacking program that can read the screen that you're reading right now. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Without you knowing that they can see it, because they're behind. Russia's behind because they have dated materials and dated ships. Mm-hmm. So they need a leg up without stealing, because that will pop off a whole world war. Even then, if they found them cheating, you know what I mean? Yeah. So maybe it'd be like Russia sees the shit that he was writing, and they're like, and it's him Clifford trying to get this message out and escape and shit like that. And he would find that he knows that they know. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And maybe it will be when the teams are out, China, Russia, Great Britain, and the U.S. Out mining, like the conflict is all of the scientists. Instead of it being like all these brutes and shit like that, it'd be a nigga trying to kill this guy and get all the information he knows.
So it's not even like a big old buff guy. It's a dude in a lab coat that's trying to kill
exactly. You. Yeah.
But hey, we can do it old school, die-hard Russian.
yeah.
And they're built like some kind of Vladimir.
One of those diabolical niggas.
Stupid. Yeah. Okay, I like it. So, what happens to the people that are going on to the asteroids? Because if the main protagonist is the dude who is the scientist who found this out and is trying to like keep it away from other people finding out before he get it back to the U.S. When he tells the asteroid seekers, what's going on, do they all like flip their shit? Do they believe him? Do they all just go get it? And so there's like a stockpile coming back. So there's a reason to
So say they go out mining in 4 ships, right?
Okay.
He's like, we've been searching on these type of asteroids, these type of, rocks. I need one person to go and mine this shit over here, right? And so they do it inconspicuously. Mm-hmm. All the while, they're slowly trying not to get noticed.
Okay.
Right? And at the same time, Cliff and his team are trying to fight off the Russian scientists, and they're trying to keep their fight secret from everybody else.
Yeah, because there is a certain amount for each country. You're not allowed to have 80 Russians and 20 from the UK. It's 20, 20, 20, 20, 20.
Mm-hmm, every scientist, maybe it's like, maybe
10 asteroid seekers, 10. Because you can only have so many ships. Let's be real. How big are we going to make the space station near an asteroid belt?
So maybe there's 8 chasers, and then there's 12 scientists.
Chasers sounds better.
Yeah.
8
ACs. Chasers. Yeah, exactly. And there's 2 people per ship, so it's 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. There's got to be a thick girl in there,
of course,
just to mix it up.
Make it the thick ass Chinese girl.
I'm okay with that one. Hell yeah, let's go.
So they're fighting, right?
Okay.
And it's like espionage shit. You said that perfect word, espionage. And it's like some Born Identity, like fighting shit. Not Born Identity actual, but the type of fighting style.
So say like Cliff has to fade somebody like in a like a little dorm area where nobody else is at, and he like shoves a pin into his neck and then just puts him into a locker. And then he like locks it and he's just like, yo, I killed somebody now to preserve this, and they're gonna come looking for him eventually.
Yeah, exactly like that. So let's bring it back to when he got his computer hacked, right?
Okay.
He would go and he didn't know that he was seen.
Mm-hmm.
So he's in his lab, and then like the lab door would open, and in the doorway is the Russian guy who saw the message. And then Cliff talks to him. He speaks to him in Russian. He's like, "Hey, can I help you?" And he's staring at him. Then he sees his laptop open, and he closes his laptop.
And then like he sees like a screwdriver come out of the dude's
exactly.
Like,
he pulls it out of his pocket
because they're not coming up with guns. They're coming up with fucking like tools to use for the trade.
He got a big ass wrench in his hand, and he's just like, and it's like dead air.
And you know what it is.
You know what it is, bro.
You know as a man when another man's looking at you for funk, you know it.
Yeah.
You might try to avoid it.
Yeah.
But if somebody's standing there with a wrench, you can't really avoid that one.
And they fucking fade, bro. And it's messy. It's I don't work out a lot. It's type of
we
shit.
We get tired for a half second.
Exactly. They take a breath and shit. Niggas are pulling hair. They're spitting in each other's face. And
somebody hit somebody with a beaker.
Yeah. So, you know what I mean? Fingers are getting smashed.
Yeah.
And
it's not a beautiful fight to watch. It's fun, though.
It's Saving Private Ryan.
Every single skirmish that everybody got into, nobody knew how to just chunk it easily. Nothing with fluid. Everything was just a hard grapple mixed with hooks.
Exactly, and then like a slow grinding, eventual death to a nigga.
Yeah, and it's always like a nigga got top mount.
Exactly,
like,
top mount.
Always got top mount with a rock.
Trying to jam a knife in a nigga's heart. So it would be like the Russian guy's winning, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the door is closed. Like, say the Russian stepped in before he caught the fade and locked the door, and be in the window. It would be looking in. It would be a U.S. scientist, and he's trying to open the shit. And Cliff is like getting mixed now. You know what I mean?
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Got with the hot ones.
He's like bleeding from the nose now. He's like, they're like throwing bows and shit, right? Kicking.
What is Cliff built like?
Cliff is built like, I want to say a 6'2" Jeff.
I was gonna say a 6'2" Tobey Maguire. Same.
Yeah, same, dude. Same.
Small white man.
Got a little ghetto in him. He'll answer to nigga. You know what I mean? But anyway, so Cliff is like losing the shit.
Yeah.
And now it's a fight, not to fight him off, but to get to the door to open it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And he's like dragging away. He's crawling, kicks the nigga in his nuts. Russian blood falls over on his face, and he opens the fucking door, and they rush in like what the fuck? It's like 2 of them, and he just Cliff is like you know that Get this motherfucker, man. Like,
And
what are
then
you
the
just standing there for?
to go in there and just because he's tired now.
Right? And they like grab him, and then he's trying to fight off. Cliff just like he closes the door. You know, there's like a little blinds over the window. yeah, pulls the shit, and the shutters close. And he's like, we got to kill him. And they're just like, what the fuck? He's like, why are you guys fighting for? And then he shows them on the laptop. He knew this. They're hacked into our shit.
He's like, this wins the war. This wins everything.
Yeah.
And he gets out of here, they're gonna kill all of us.
Yeah.
He came to kill me, and they're just like,
we need to get.
oh shit.
We need to get rid of him, and we need to destroy his laptop.
That makes hella sense.
That feels good, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And he goes, we got to kill this nigga and send him off. You know what I'm saying? And he's like, what the fuck, dude? I didn't sign up for this shit. All I wanted to do was test minerals and shit like that. Cliff's just like, hey, look, motherfucker.
This is what it is.
This is what it is. This shit can be reproduced on Earth. There's no fucking this. There's no that.
We go home to our families.
Exactly, and then it'll bring jobs and whatever the fuck. You know what I mean? The whole the broader picture to make this not an arms race, but to make it equal. That's what he's feeling like.
Yeah, but he's like, this will end the war, and people are taking that as we win the war.
Yeah,
as opposed to him thinking once it gets to Earth, it's a renewable resource we can do there.
Yeah, he's thinking of as a scientist and not a fucking general.
Yeah, he's not a Marine. You know, like in every fucking alien movie, it's a Marine doing some shit, and then the one scientist is the one that makes it.
Exactly, because they're smarter. So they go and Cliff like does the dirty work, strangles this nigga to death. There's like one girl and one guy who's holding him while he's struggling, and he's doing it in an amateurish way, like squeezing the nigga's neck real fucking hard. His hands get tired, so he goes on to something different, and they kill him, suffocate him to death, right? And they like bend his body all up and shit like that, and we'll send him out in one of the garbage capsules, send him out, okay? But I need for you guys to do this right here. I have to go get the fucking laptop. Okay?
Like, I need you just to get that. And he's like changing his fucking lab coat to something without blood on it. And he's like fixing his glasses. He's like, these are fucked.
Exactly.
He's like, fuck, I'm bleeding. And he's like cleaning himself up. Has he already killed bruh and put him into the locker?
Or let's go.
Or do you want to say that one for later?
No, that's what he's doing right now. They're disposing of his body.
Okay, while he's going to go get the laptop,
yes, exactly.
Goes in there.
So they're trying to stash him in a trash compactor and send the trash out. Exactly. Yeah. That's what they're trying to do. So, but yeah. So he goes. He's like, you guys put him in this. All you gotta do is press one fucking button. One fucking button, dude. Do not let me down. You hear me? They're just like, yes. Like, and they go out.
The world depends on it.
Yeah.
This isn't for fucking fun. We can all fucking die here.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so then he goes down the fucking hallways and shit like that and gets to the lab, and there's like 4 fucking Russian niggas in there. But they see the laptop is open.
But they're not looking at it yet.
They're not looking at it. Right?
So he does a little James Bond sneak. Comes in on the creep on these niggas, right? Ooh, and let's do it like, okay. So he comes in on the creep, right? And he's like, ah, shit. So he gets in. He goes the back way, comes in closer to the laptop, and is doing some Jurassic Park when they're with the raptors. And the kids are like hiding with the raptors, like, who's that? Okay, I'll keep going. Yeah. Shit like that. So he gets to his laptop. I would say shutting it makes a sound.
Yeah.
Like yeah, like something like that. And then they see the hand come up, and then he just hears hella like Russian people like, it's got a question. And then they start running over there, right?
Yeah.
And how does he get out of this scenario? Fire extinguisher.
Ah, yeah, let's go, nigga.
Back the fuck up. He sprays him, and then now this is an all-out, like, people because you have to run past like mess halls, and each country would have their own mess hall. Even though you guys are like going like, oh, maybe I want this tonight or this tonight. It doesn't matter, but you're mainly going to be in your own thing. So he's running with a laptop, face bloody, with 4 Russians chasing him. That's going to open up the whole kind of like a chaos scenario where people are like, why are Russians chasing a U.S. scientist?
And all the while, the one person that's searching for the meteor that the asteroid that Cliff said it would be on has landed, right? Mm-hmm. And at the same time, they see China on the same one.
But they're mining something different and don't know it. They're like, oh, they're here for this too.
Right? So they're like, what the fuck do we do? So he asked the nigga in charge, like the somebody on the other ships, the U.S. Okay, what I'm saying is one of the U.S. people on the same asteroid as a China. As a Chinese vessel.
Okay.
Right? And they wonder what they should be doing because he said you need to be careful with this shit because we need more samples to do my testing to make sure that I'm 100% correct in this. Right? Because this was just a theory because he just got a little bit of it. He needs more. Right? To test this shit out. Mm-hmm. And they're just like,
but it's something people will walk past, because nobody knows about it besides the U.S. But they have that fear in them because of. Are they privy to what's happening on the ship right now?
No, not at all.
So, but that's just because of what he sent them out on the mission with. He was like, "Yo, this is precious. You get this, we don't need much more," and. Yeah, that works. And maybe it could be even something that's on like a lot of asteroids. It's just been overlooked because it doesn't look precious.
But he just knows that it's on this one. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then when he sees like, okay, we'll get to that. But so they're on the same shit. He contacts the U.S. ship that's on the same asteroid as the Chinese ship. The U.S. searches for a signal. That he gets back to one of the 3 that are mining the normal shit. Okay. And he's like, they're like, because it's a team of 2. He's like, what do we do? China's on the same asteroid. And these niggas are all Marine type niggas. Mm-hmm.
The U.S.?
Yeah, for the chasers.
Okay, the chasers. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so he was just like what are they mining? I can't see it from here, but I don't want to give away our position. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because if they see you mining it, even if they don't want to get it, they're gonna be like, "Why are they doing it?"
Yeah, why are they getting that?
All you need is a little bit to find out. It's a good amount of it saves like time.
Yeah, and let's say all the shit that they're picking out shines a certain color, like shines a purple metallic color. But what they're getting is like a dull brown.
Yeah, with the hints of like opal.
Yeah.
Like, so it just looks like, those rocks you used to find at school where you crack and you're like, it's like a diamond. And you're like, that's just a rock, bro.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
So they're looking past that, but that's like big money right there.
Exactly. What Cliff sees as such. Mm-hmm. So he's like, stay as low to the ground as possible. Get what you need. We only need a little bit and get the fuck out of there.
Okay.
Because on asteroids, it is fucking Switzerland in that bitch. Mm-hmm. And on the space station, it's supposed to be Switzerland on that bitch. If we have any conflict, the world's going to go to shit. Okay?
Yeah. And so they're under strict mandates. Like, they get into fist fights sometimes, but, like, it doesn't go to...
It doesn't go higher than...
It doesn't go higher than that because they're like, this will cause conflict in the world.
Yeah. And then the world will fucking start to nuke shit up.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
And we're already on the edge.
That's all the while. That brings the B story. It's China and the U.S.
And then Russia working and the
around
U.S.
No. Just working around each other on that asteroid to get what they need to get, right? That's the B story.
And then A story.
A story is Russia. Back on the ship, right? So now we head back to the ship.
Okay.
He fire extinguishes his way out. He runs out of that bitch and locks the door behind him.
Binks somebody with the shit.
Yeah.
Like somebody trying to run through and just like, bink, hold that.
Hold that.
Runs it, locks the door, takes the key code. I don't know, maybe.
Yeah.
That sounds about right?
Yeah.
And then runs out. He's running down. I would say he's in a communal dorm for the computers, and that's how it's so easily accessible.
Yes.
So he's having to go back to his area to get the, because I would say you send out personal shit through your own little pod area. You're not going to be doing that shit in the communal area where everybody can just be watching over your back.
Exactly.
Because that's how this shit got started. Somebody seeing your shit or seeing an experiment.
Hacking into it.
Yeah, hacking into it. And I'm pretty sure, it's easier to do it closer. I've seen all the tech shows where you just get close to something and you can download the data.
Yeah.
So
let's say he gets back and he opens a laptop and he sees this shit and he sees a program and he's like, fuck, I didn't think any of this shit. I thought this was a safe spot. And then he goes to the laptop and he sees correspondence of Russia working with China or Russia working with the UK. How do you feel about that?
Like following like the IP address kind of shit. Like just being like who was also attached to this link.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. And who's these message shows? What?
Yeah, let's just keep it real regular. Yeah, Russia and China.
Yeah.
Like they're in collusion with each other to if they find any kind of like, specific mineral, they're just gonna corner that market and then split it 50-50 and just edge out America and the UK, and that's all we got on that board.
Yeah. That's all the superpowers.
Yeah,
really.
for the mid-20s for sure.
So he sees there's no correspondence with anybody else.
Okay.
But a call for the scientist that was just killed comes on the speaker.
Okay.
Right? And there's no fucking answer. The calls go through for a few hours. And they get back together. Cliff calls everybody in. He's like, okay, this is what it is. I just got message from Chaser 4 that it has the payload and they're coming back at this and this and this. And he spells out what the fuck worked. I mean, what was in the works and shit like that.
Okay.
And he's like, oh shit, okay. So what we have to do is keep this fucking sealed, nigga. You know what I mean? Otherwise, it's a wrap for us. We just have to wait until the muscle gets back.
And yeah, because they're like, bro, I almost died twice today.
Yeah, nigga.
I don't got no more fight left in me, dog. Bro. He's like, I'm trembling. Look at this tremble. And fucking the UK is somewhere just drinking tea.
Yeah. Just chilling, doing their fucking job. Hella excluded.
Hella excluded.
What about a spy on the U.S. team?
I would say this is where we lead into. To switch it up, we have somebody fucking somebody on a different nation.
So U.S. is fucking China.
Yeah, I'd say some dude on the U.S. is fucking a chick in China, or for China, and pillow talk.
That nigga's in love.
He's in love, and she's like, I know the easiest way to a man's heart is through his penis, so I'm gonna do that, flirt with him, and then boom, boom, boom. Next thing you know, I got some secrets on the U.S. on because everybody, I'm assuming, isn't going out of the same vessel as far as like type. Everything's kind of like engineered towards how they got it there. Yeah. It's just a space station.
That's why Russia has like shittier fucking material.
Exactly.
That's why. And the Chinese woman that's fucking the U.S. guy, behind everybody's back and shit like that, isn't a real secret at what she wants to find out. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And she's like kissing on this nigga's stomach and shit like that. They like get in like a mop closet or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
And she's about to blow the nigga. And he's like, you gotta give me something. I'm going to give you something.
And he's like, well, we found a new rock. Pulling up his shirt to his nipples, though.
Yeah, bro.
Just like, we found a rock. I mean, It's a super. What did he say? Not radioactive. It's good. It's a good rock. It's something good that we haven't been using. It looks like mud, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
And then he
We're out
pulls
there
up his
mining.
shirt.
He's like, "Whew, we out there mining that shit right now, dude. Like, this is supposed to be the end of all that's wrong in the world." And she hears that nigga, and she blows him and fucking exiting the mop closet.
Mm-hmm.
It's Cliff, like, hitting the corner.
And she's just like wiping her lip, and he's just like, "Oh fuck."
Fuck. Right?
Does he even catch on right there?
Yeah, because his nigga comes out of the fucking mop closet too.
Oh. Okay.
After that, like, she tells
Well,
him,
no, I thought they were coming out at the same time. That makes sense that one comes out,
And then the other one.
and then
Yeah.
the other one. Just
Right.
try to throw a little something on it.
and then he
Rest
looks
smelling like semen.
he looks at the guy when he comes out, and let's call him Floyd.
Okay.
Hey, Floyd, can I talk to you for a second?
He's like, yeah. What's up, Cliff?
What was that about?
What? Oh, that.
You just fucking left.
It's nothing crazy. It was just a quick hookup. Nothing to do. Nothing to say. You know. Why?
Are you pillow talking?
I mean, there was no bed in there. You know. No. You know, everything is classified. I wouldn't do that.
I'm gonna need for you to go back to the lab. I'll be with you in a second, okay?
I just need to run to my room real quick.
Don't even worry about that. Don't even worry
Okay.
about that. Just get
All
right to the lab. I got some samples for you to test. I need them done like ASAP, and nobody's as good as you, bud.
All right, yeah, for sure, man. Just forget to say, you know, I'll meet you in the lab.
Bet. See somebody on the team. Hey, we gotta kill this nigga.
For real, because you got to though. You got
kill
to.
this nigga, and then her. Hey,
Got to kill her too.
she's
I got to
different.
find out what she knows.
She's different, but she's same, but different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they go, and let's say he's testing shit, and there's 2 lab coats behind Floyd,
Mm-hmm.
and then all you see is them like walk up to Floyd,
And then it switches
past the
scene.
camera. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And he turns around, and is like, "Hey guys,
And there's 2 Asian people that you can tell by the back of the head. Yeah.
they're flat."
Yeah.
So he goes and that happens, right? And then Cliff goes and looks for the woman.
Yeah.
And by now the message that he has to send is waiting for the carrier.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Let's say they have to print out the shit and somebody picks up the material and sends it there.
Okay.
And it's much safer if it goes from A to B to C than over. So I got the idea from what you said earlier about writing it down. Because it's safer to send something hand to hand than it is to send something over the
Digital.
laptop. And Cliff is so, I have to do this because it was his fault.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm a much better typer than I am a writer.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just going to type this shit out.
Yeah.
I'm going to bang it out, and then I'm print it out. I'm going to send it. I'm going to wait for the carrier to send it there. Because it is the 20s. I want it to be snail mail.
Yeah.
You feel me? So all I have to do, we have to just wait for the mailman to come.
Yeah.
That's it.
And if I can get this out, it's a piece of paper I can shove it into whatever else I need to shove it into, and just, you know, send a little note with it like, hey, check the left side of the radiator.
Yep.
We're sending an engine back, but check the left side of the radiator, and then boom, pop that open. You get a little note, and you're like, whoa, this is what this radiator is made out of, or something. You know what I mean? Like something like that.
And so he goes and looks for the Chinese woman.
Okay.
Cliff does after he's written all the shit out, and cannot find her worth a fuck. He's trying to find her, and at the same time, go back to the B story. The fourth chaser has gotten what they need to get, but they see that the Chinese ship has gone, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, that's interesting because this shit is way easier to mine. They have to get to the core
to get to like all the deepest minerals.
Exactly.
And that's probably why they shouldn't even be tripping, is because of the fact that this is on the surface. So it's easier to chip off, and all you have to do is say, I'm trying to get to some diamond down here.
Yeah.
And nobody's going to look at you twice.
Exactly.
But they're paranoid because of how hype Cliff has made them off of the reality that this changes the world.
They have the whole weight on their shoulders. Atlas type shit. They got the whole world on their shoulders. So they're like, what the fuck? And just then the fucking Chinese ship crashes right into the U.S. ship. They got big ass arms that they use to dig and shit like that. They're like smashing the ship, and they're communicating back to each other like, you know what I mean? the Chinese military personnel
Has let them know, like, go kill them?
Yeah, the scientists have relayed the message now.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Because they've caught up with fucking bitch-ass Floyd.
Exactly, bitch-ass Floyd, bro. And now
Bitch-ass Floyd.
Bitch-ass Floyd, bro. I never met a cool Floyd, bro. Anyway.
Name me one besides Patterson, bro.
Yeah,
Name
exactly.
me one.
So they're fighting, like, with machines. Smashing and shit like that. Great-ass action, adventure type shit. And...
shooting like lasers and shit.
Exactly, the lasers that they go to dig into it, as
Yeah.
well as a drill. They're just like shoo, shoo, shoo,
cutting off arms and shit.
Exactly, and then the U.S. like blocks the shit, sends a laser right through the face of the fucking Chinese operator of the vehicle, and it sucks out all the fucking air. While the
his head
second
pops out of it.
the first one shoots right through the nigga, and when the beam stops, it sucks the second guy into the hole.
Beautiful.
And he's inside out.
And you see all them like crippling it, like all of this
Crumple, yeah,
There's
crumple,
just skin and bones in there because all his guts are just floating in the universe.
yeah. And now that U.S. chaser, they're all bloody and fucking marked up.
How do they get back?
Can't get back.
Oh,
They can't get back. It's fucked up.
but they still got communications through the Chinese ship.
No. Do their ship. They
I
still
thought it
have
was fucked up.
No. It was fucked up
excavator.
to fly.
Oh, to fly, but they still got
They
communications.
can still
and shit.
call a nigga.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay,
So
cool,
they send it out. They're like, SOS. The Chinese know about the mission, nigga.
Yeah.
We can't move. You got to come by here and get the shit.
We had to kill him, and we're smoking.
Yeah.
we can't leave here. You got to come get us.
Yeah.
ASAP.
A fucking sap.
Because this is a relatively like a populated site for the area you're in. People aren't going days away. They're catching shit as it's going past. So like
Absolutely.
people are a few asteroids over and they see smoke and an explosion on a different ship. And or if China is watching their own shit, because there's multiple Chinese, vessels out there. If one is like, hey, you feel me, Ichiro over here has been taking a hot ass minute.
Yeah.
And
Spicy.
I really I don't. He's never late. He bitches at me for being 2 minutes late.
And now that, so let's say the Chinese were just waiting for the U.S. to move in a certain direction. Mm-hmm. Now it's all out. Fucking, it's mayhem.
What if we have like an asteroid pass between them and the space station that's like magnetic and it fucks up the communications for a minute.
Okay.
And so that gives that like
they go dark at a certain time, and and everybody has a big ass clock on when it goes dark in the space station.
There you go.
And
getting close.
Clicking.
It's getting close.
It's getting real fucking close, right?
Yeah.
And the fight that happens on the asteroid between the Chinese and U.S. happens like 5 minutes to dark.
Yeah, nigga, it's 24 hours with with the homeboy who's always tired. 24.
Oh, fucking,
clocks down. Kiefer Sutherland.
Kiefer Sutherland. Yeah.
There you go. It's
I
like
didn't know that shit was just all in one day. I was like, get the fuck out of here.
And it makes sense. That's why he was so tired.
That nigga's.
If you had a jog and your adrenaline was up for 24 hours, that would fuck me up.
For real though. So it's about to go dark in the space station, and they get the message, and it goes dark everywhere.
Yeah, like every ship. Like this is known. Like if you're still out, hunker down and stay in your ship because we're not gonna be able to come get you until this just passes by.
And it's only for how long you think we should go dark for?
I said like 2-3 minutes, but that's a fight for life.
Woo, 2 or 3 minutes. Let's go 5 because it's like a wave from the sun or some shit like
Okay.
that just shuts everything down and then go back up, right? So
Yep.
5. Let's go 5 minutes.
And to be real, like you could have like the ships being used to it, and everybody outside of them is hunkering down and shutting off systems, because it does fuck with your systems if you have your shit on while this, magnetic storm is going through, or asteroid that's fucking up the communications.
Yeah.
So maybe everybody outside of them is just doing what they regularly do, but they're noticing, they're like, hey, they should have been here by now.
Mm-hmm.
And then the U.S. is noticing, James has not been back.
On the ship, right?
Yeah.
The scientist.
Yeah.
Okay, bet.
Because it's 3 ships, 2 people each, right?
4 ships, 2 people each on the chasers.
Okay. So the other U.S. ships would definitely be like on that same hype, but I don't think they're all on the same fucking asteroid, are they?
No. They're in 3 different space places.
All looking for the same thing.
All looking for the same thing.
So some of them don't make it back.
That's the thing. That's what I'm getting at, right?
Okay. All right.
So they hear the message from the U.S.
Okay.
We just had to go live on China. We had to go fucking live on China. It's code red. Mm-hmm. You got to come by and get us. So they're just like, okay, like fuck, code red, like goddamn. Okay, we're going to you right now. As soon as they start to shoot off, lasers from Chinese ships, phew, nigga, and they're just like jamming, and they're mining vehicles. They aren't fast.
Yeah,
these aren't.
They're load bearing things.
Yeah,
they're
big, hefty.
It takes a second for that bitch to get off the ground.
Thick bitches. Yes, exactly. And they're just like, but the lasers are quick. The arms are faster.
Yeah, because I gotta dig with this shit.
Like big ass crabs, bro.
Yeah.
And they're shooting the laser, and they're just like getting attacked on some fucking Star Trek shit, and they're getting like lasers and shit, and they're like motoring along and trying to navigate through the asteroids, and they're fighting and shit like that. U.S. turns around, like going backwards, flying blind, and shooting shit like that, right? So it's 4-on-3 technically.
Yep.
Oh no, it's 3-on-3 because he just took him out. So it's 3-on-3, and so they're fighting each other. One U.S. ship gets completely taken out.
Yep.
Then a Chinese ship gets taken out. Right now they're more strategic, and they're battling even more, and they're in distance, in sight of the U.S. ship. Right.
Yeah, and you can see out into the asteroid belt. There's a whole bunch of windows. So people can see the battle going on if they're looking. Yeah,
and it gets fucking live. And then right then and there, it goes black. It goes dark. Mm-hmm. Right? The clock strikes 24, and it's 5 minutes of darkness. No communications.
And people are fighting in the space station. People are fighting in space.
And usually it shuts down. You know what I mean? How do you like that? It shuts down. Usually everything turns red and shit like that.
Yeah, I think it'd be like a backup generator. Everything's like a red or a
purple or some shit like that.
Hard yellow or something.
Yeah.
Something that still illuminate but let you know, like, don't use shit. Mm-hmm. Don't plug nothing in because it's not gonna work. But this is just so you can see and you don't break your neck doing something.
And Cliff is staring out of this shit. Staring out the window, watching this shit happen,
and watching shit get blown up. He's like, "What the fuck have I done?"
Exactly. If I didn't send this shit out on my laptop, bro, we would not be here. So he goes and
smashes his laptop.
No. The shit is all printed out now and it's ready to go. Right? Remember, you were like the side of the generator.
Yeah, side of the generator.
Right?
Okay.
So he's watching the shit go, and then all you see is this Chinese nigga like, ah! with a fucking fire extinguisher, and then Cliff sees him in the reflection as he's in awe of what the fuck is happening, and then he turns around, he's just like, oh shit, and they're fucking duking it out, and next thing you know, you hear just shit breaking, just war happening. Here, UK, don't give a fuck. They're
Sipping
locked. They're locked
tea,
down. And
they're locked
fucking,
down. They're
yeah.
just like, look at these blokes, mate.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a good English
Bloody
accent.
cunts.
I think that's
for sure
Australian.
But yeah.
All right, yeah, but
Throwing fucking toes, bro. Everybody's
Yeah.
fucking niggas are getting their neck broke. People are getting squeezed on, their head smashed in.
flares are going off and shit.
Flares are going
Like
off.
people are burning people's faces with flares.
Yeah, good shit like that, bro. And then a nigga comes out like, yeah, with flares. I was going to say some stupid shit. But yeah, so they go and they're like,
Cliff should knock the fuck out of that Asian girl
Yeah,
that was fucking Floyd.
like that's who he sees across the hall.
And
Like,
then
across the chaos is her like huddled under a fucking under a desk or some shit like that, and he's like, "You bitch, you got to go. You got to fucking
he
go."
goes to kill a woman.
Yeah, he goes to fucking murder this bitch, bro. Just because he's deflecting blame.
Blame, yeah.
You feel me? It's your fault, bitch. Now I
Yeah.
gotta get you.
Yeah, this would have been
And then
peaceful if we
Floyd
did
is
it
next.
my way.
Floyd better be fucking. You know what I mean? Like,
Floyd been dead.
Yeah.
They killed him the second he told them when they
Walked
closed
past.
the screen. Yeah. When they
Yeah.
walked past the screen, about 40 minutes later, Floyd was out in the
Out of
fucking
there.
little.
frozen in a motherfucker.
Yep. And I don't know why everybody in space is just like lazy how they kill. They're like, just airlock it.
Yeah, just toss that nigga out. Duh. There's no fight, dude. But yeah, so he goes in there, and it cuts back to story B.
Okay.
When he starts to walk towards her with like this big ass wrench and this bloodlust in his eyes, right? And then cuts to story B, and it's then fucked around and it's 1-on-1 now.
Yeah. Only one ship left.
Exactly. All in that time, the other ship died off,
Yeah.
and
And it's still China and U.S. or is it any other ship or any other country?
just China and the U.S.
Okay.
right? Because Russia has its own shit. I'll get into that.
Okay.
So they go and they get on the rock at the same time, and they get back to the U.S. ship, and the niggas on the U.S. ship dead. They're
Yeah.
dead too, right? But they grab whatever the fuck they needed to off that ship. Let's just say they moved the U.S. Shit. They floated like a little bit further from, you know what I mean, on a different area. They kind of bouncing around on the gravitational pull of that said asteroid that they were on.
Mm-hmm.
And they got the load from them. They're dead as fuck from the battle. And China is trying to get closer to them, but they kind of like stiff arm them away and send them flying in a different direction. I'll go cheap with that, right? And
I'm hella stupid. I was going to say something stupid.
what?
Edit the shit out.
All right.
I was like, oh, fuck are you?
Fuck.
Edit that shit out. Timestamp it,
Yeah,
bitch.
yeah. I got you. I
remember.
swear to God, I got you. I won't do it like the S word that you said.
Hey, I'm half, so it's all good, baby.
So they get the load, and it's the end of the 5 minutes, and everything turns back on. Chaos is blood everywhere, shit like that. And the U.S. like turns the ship around. They're just like, you know, Mayday, Mayday, code red. You know what I mean? We're on the way back, and they turn the ship around, and it's 4 fucking Russian chasers just lined up. And they're just like, fuck.
But all the Russian cats in the actual space station are fucked. They're all dead.
Yeah. Right? And so they get all killed, and I want to say it's the UK fucked around and teamed up with the US.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So they got 12. Everybody had 12, right? Russia had 11 to start. So it was 24 versus 23.
Mm-hmm.
And the US and UK demolished these niggas.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And not everybody's dead, though. A large majority are captured. So, like, maybe it's like 18 for UK, US, and maybe like 11 left of the China and Russia. So these niggas have them all hostage and shit like that. And they were threatening Russia and be like, tell them to stand down and let them come back to the ship. Or we're cutting off fucking heads in this bitch. You get to choose. And tell the Russians to stand down, and they did. And they come back to the ship, right? And all this shit is happening. He was like, we have so much, such amount of time to get this message back to the U.S. The mail is coming today, obviously, whatever the fuck. The cargo ship to pick up all the minerals and shit and to send it out. I just have to test this shit again to make my theory correct, and all this worth it.
Yeah, all these lives are worth it.
Yeah. So he goes and he's like testing the shit, and the cargo ship, pulls up, and they're like, okay, ready and shit like that, and then he tests the shit, and it's bad. They got the wrong fucking mineral. I don't know.
That made me so upset.
No, right? So it tests good, right?
That's good.
And then he's like, okay, we got it. This, with these minerals on Earth, we can make this. It's there. And actually, there's a big deposit under whatever the fuck,
Antarctica.
in Arizona or whatever the fuck.
And there's hella shit everywhere still.
Yeah, still running into there's a bunch of rocks running into fucking Earth.
Yeah.
So he goes and, you know what I mean? He sends out all this shit, and it's shut down, and they're like, we got to go to the ejector pods and shit like that. We got to get off this. The space station is no longer safe. And with this message, we're not abandoning ship. We're not going AWOL. This proves that this is this and shit like that. And so as they send that shit off with the mail carrier, they don't carry it themselves because he's certified as Switzerland.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like, nobody's going to fuck with that vessel. Like, if you fuck with that vessel, it has all the, accoutrements that would make it easy to be like, Russia did this.
Exactly.
China did this.
Yep.
U.S. did this. So it's almost like a home base when you're playing tag.
Factual. Now that is home base. The mail carrier is home base
it's
for
home
sure.
Base.
Now the space
Second I dropped that bitch off and I got my U.S. tag on my shirt, that is how it is registered into the catalog, and that catalog better be accurate or we're going to war.
Exactly.
Before we even unload this shit.
And they get in the pods and shit like that and send it off and everything. It gets back to the United States. And they're like, what are we going to do? You know what I mean? About what happened on the ship and shit like that. Because they would have to send that message with the mail carrier too. That this shit happened. And the president's just like, look, son, we haven't told you the total truth about this shit. As Cliff is talking to this nigga from a fucking gurney and shit like that. We haven't told you. We haven't told you the whole truth, son. We were mining this shit for, you know what I mean, arms race and this and that, and we're going to, you know what I mean, go to war. It was really who gets enough minerals.
Yeah. Whoever has the biggest stick.
Yeah. And now that you got me this, son,
I'm going to bring home.
Exactly. I promise you one thing. I'm going to bring home a victory. He's like, no, nigga, that's not what I wanted. You know what I mean? Coughing. And then he's just like, but what about the space station? You ain't got to worry about that, son. We already got it. 3 keys turn. Red button hit. Blow up the space station completely, right? And gets the rhetoric, writes up a fake ass note of or a fake ass idea of what happened, and it was a major malfunction on the space station, which reacted. Somebody brought in the wrong material, and it reacted with another material, and it exploded.
Yep.
That's what we know. And we had, what did we say, 18? So we had maybe like 4 U.S. deaths on there before they escaped,
Mm-hmm.
and another 4 from the UK, and that's, you know what I mean.
But where are they going? They can't make it all the way back without being on the mail ship, right?
But that's the thing. They got out in the pods. There's like rescue pods and shit like that they dropped out of, but they kept China and Russia on there. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They like huddled these niggas up and they escaped out of there.
Forced them and then locked them into a room and then was
Exactly,
like,
and just dipped out of there. Exactly, and but with that conversation Cliff had after they escaped from the space station, then the president just shot it out of the fucking outer space. Was the space station? So they shot up missiles and shit, and it exploded or whatever the fuck, or set off a bomb or
I like the key thing.
Oh yeah, the key turned and they shot it up there.
Yeah.
And they see it through the night. They see it explode, and they're just like, "This is what happened." And then through the strong arm of the United States military and the United States itself, they control all media.
Mm-hmm.
You know, shout out to Israel. They control all media and they control the rhetoric. Like, this is a sad incident for the whole world. We all
need to just come together.
Yeah, we all need to come together right now and, you know, mourn our losses and shit like that. And they have the U.S. people that died and the U.K. people that died and all the Russians that died and all the Chinese that died and shit.
Yeah. And
and it's all being watched by Cliff.
Yep. At
from
the end,
the fucking hospital bed, while his knuckles are bruised, his toes are broken, his nose is all
somebody
twisted
bit
up.
a finger off and shit.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like,
and he's just like
an Asian dude walks in to like attend to him like an Asian American, and he's
Yeah.
like flinches hella tough.
and as he's watching this shit, his family comes in and it's like, "Daddy," and then he completely. This is all it was for. This is all it was.
He
for.
made it back.
Yeah.
And they were like, "We're gonna set you up. You got us what we needed to win the war. You're gonna be good, sir." And he got a good pension. That's it.
Yeah,
that's all they're
that's
gonna
it.
give you.
Yeah, you're straight now.
He's like, "You want a fake pinky? We can give you like a little robot pinky."
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they straighten out his nose and shit like that, and he walks out of that bitch, and he's just like, "Damn."
You like, I guess it really was a space race. And it was a Cody do like all those shitty movies and just go right into hard rock right after the
I stand alone.
you're like,
Inside I stand alone.
throw off the whole energy. You're like, it was ending on like a soft note and then it goes right into hard rock.
Yeah.
But this one definitely you end with like, I don't want to miss a thing. Kind of. No, you end. What would you end it for like a soundtrack? What kind of energy would you want to end this on? Because he won. He made it through the adventure.
I end, like the ending song as the credits roll.
Yeah.
Wake me up, I can't wake up. Save me from this.
I'm okay with that. Because it is mid-20s, but I'm giving it 80s energy.
Oh yeah, or even Telepatia from fucking Kali Uchis. Telepatia.
Okay. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I want to fly away. If you want it, we can take a private plane.
I was thinking like Eddie Vedder's Society. What a crazy. Like just go Eddie Vedder with it.
Yeah.
I think either way, I like
science.
Just have Mark Norman at the end. Comedy. I mean, science.
Weird science. Ooh.
All right, I like it.
Bam, boom, bow. How you like this now? Damn, that was fucking nice, my boy. That was nice.
That bitch had hips on her.
Yeah.
And a little bit of yas.
Yeah, exactly. And she like, we cousins, but I'm just like, are we?
Hit it with the hard tilt when you look at it with your forehead.
Are we though?
I mean, what state are we in though?
Yeah.
She just like, get out of the house. I'm like, all right.
There you go. Our parents are just friends. Boom, pal. How you like us now? That was Space Race, Act 2 and 3, Part 2 and 3. I think I might change it to parts. People understand it better. But this is Act 2 and 3 of Space Race. I am your host, Jody Pratt, and this with my special best friend. I love you so much.
Oh, thank you so much, Doctor.
Patrick Wickfall.
Yeah.
This is the Scrapbook Podcast. We love you. Don't stop being creative. Peace.
Deuces.